saving Private Rexar. As we do see the Tomb of the Spider Queen coming in as our next map. First time we've seen it in this phase.
Yeah, absolutely true. The Tomb of the Spider Queen is here while we're having a little bit of a mini stutter. What about you? Did you have that too?
Yeah.
The Queen Feet is not in the best shape today.
I'm waiting for it to stabilize. Okay, I've jumped up in time.
What are you sitting at? I'm sitting at 8. 8-2.
898.
898?
Yeah, or 9 exactly now.
Oh, we're going to have to reload, I guess.
Gonna
have to reload. We apologize, guys. The clean feed, of course, is sometimes beyond our control, beyond our realm of influence here.
Hold on, I'm reloading. Waiting for it to stabilize. 596.
Hey,
613.
5.8. There we go.
613. That's still half a second. I'll take it.
We'll take that. That's for sure. All right, here we go.
So, first man, Junkrat. They definitely seem to be evolving in terms of priorities of just what worked yesterday. Seems to be the entire strategy right now.
Exactly. And I really like this approach as well. Like when you're quote-unquote the better team on paper, which in this case SunnyLion definitely can claim the title for, then oftentimes you want to get rid of heroes that can stop you from overwhelming your opponents, right? So you want to get rid of all the mayhem, all the dislocation, all the anti-engage, all the disengage. And actually, Junkrat is a master at that. With a concussion mine, with a riptire, he can oftentimes prevent you from getting kills that you otherwise would have gotten. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me to see maybe yet another Garage. He proved to be quite unstoppable. And mind you, Tetcher, on this battleground, you have fantastic ganking opportunities.
Hanzo is picked up Overwatch Assassin, making it into the game this time. There wasn't one last time. Interesting, Maev not picked at all in the last draft, not even banned, but this time we're going to end up being a first ban. Weird how map changes priorities like that.
What are you sitting at right now? I had another mini stutter.
636.
636. Let's see if we can get up there. Ooh, now we're sitting at 4. That's a little too fast. Too fast.
Too fast. Too fast.
Okay, we're going to give it another shake.
Slow down. What's
6 seconds. The dream.
Nice indeed.
So the Hanzo first pick, of course, great wave clear if you go for the PvE build with a scattering arrow at level 4, most importantly. And also great poking. So oftentimes when you have Hanzo, you are able to keep the enemy team at bay when it comes to dealing or turning in those gems, right? You have heroes like Junkrat, you have heroes like Hanzo. Those are all formidable when it comes to interrupting the channeling process. They provide great vision, so you actually know in the first place that the enemy team is even trying to hand in those gems. So there's little things that Hanzo can do in Tomb of the Spider Queen, and that's why I really like him as a first pick here.
I don't know if you just heard him speak with that skin. Base skin Tyrael, voice actor in China, sounds almost exactly like English voice actor for Tyrael. That is impressive casting. Good job. But speaking of impressive casting, Sanctification plus Greymane equals a good time. So the Tyrael Greymane combo going to be pretty good. And if not, maybe they're going to drop back to the beginning of Phase 1 strategies, and we might see Judgment blowing up a Hanzo again, which, honestly, I just find very cathartic, so I wouldn't mind seeing anyway.
Yeah. Plot twist, Tetcher. The voice actor of the English Tyrael is Chinese, bilingual, and speaks both languages.
Ah, that explains a lot. Well played, Blizz. Very well played indeed.
Here we go. All right, so Tyrael has been deployed. Garrosh on the other side, once again, seems to be the go-to main tank for the team known as SunnyLion. Really cool to see. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? If it worked so well in the last game, if the enemy team clearly didn't have any counters, any remedy to play against that, why would you even change it? This way, you A, have a good chance of actually succeeding again, and B, you hide a little bit of strategies that you could use against other opponents that prove to be a little more of a challenge.
Zeratul is removed. RPG not wanting to deal with that again, with Garrosh already on the board, and this time Malfurion in play. They don't exactly have the Jaina setup, but they absolutely have the potential to drop a root underneath the Void Prism and set up for Twilight Dreams, Warlord's Challenges, and all sorts of other things.
All right. Second bans here on Zeratul. Looks like, I guess it makes a lot of sense. Zeratul gets the chance, of course, to wombo combo with Malfurion later on. There could be a Jaina, you know, always coming out from the Jaina on SunnyLion. The Jaina, quite scary here. But Zeratul in general is just such a he seems like such a stable hero. Even if you don't get the VPs off, even if you're just there to provide pressure on the lanes and just try to bully the backliners a little bit, a very uncomfortable hero to play against in general.
Chromie is removed. Very decent hero on this map if played well enough. Combined with a Johanna, for example, you have really solid rotational abilities, but kind of just an out-of-nowhere ban here. Give a couple seasons ago, we might have seen Infinity going for this, but Infinity's not with RPG anymore.
No, definitely true. Yeah, it's a little weird, isn't it? I mean, Locktar, on the other hand, he could probably... Wait a minute, did Locktar actually play for RPG?
He did last year. This year, he is on the roster, but not currently being played, fielded by the team.
I was going to say, right? We don't see Locktar on the side of RPG because he could have played the Chromie as well.
Right.
That was the beauty, actually, of the backline of RPG, of the old RPG. Infinity and Locktar always able to swap each other out in terms of picks. But Locktar, one of the most legendary range assassins. We haven't even talked about that. Not part of the active roster up to this point.
RPG stealing the Jada, but I know exactly what you mean. It feels weird. I saw this from the first day and was like, well, this is a player who was fielded by CE when their Assassin Zunyu couldn't make it to an event. That's how good Locktar was, and he's out. I assume he's on holiday or something. We will have to ask in the chat afterwards because he is a really solid player. If he was getting dropped in some way, shape, or form, that would be crazy, and I'd expect to see him return in an open division in the future. But I'm assuming it's real life stuff.
To be honest, if I were any other HGC China team, I would probably be like, hey, you know what? We're gonna pick you up, bro. I mean, we got you. You were one of the best. Yeah, one of the most impactful ranged assassins in China and Chinese history here. So let's see what happens to him. The Gul'dan coming in, and that makes me very happy, Tetra. The Asian regions have been known to really neglect Gul'dan quite a lot compared to Europe and NA. So China picking it up again, trying to have that good wave clear in there, trying to provide all the fears onto heroes like Tyrael, and even Greymane can be quite the valuable target. So I like it.
And we saw last phase, Jada can rock this hero. Top 3 heroes Jada seems to like to play, of course, being Jada, this Gul'dan, and Falstad. With Falstad not being as viable on this map, just due to it being very small, you lose a lot of value from the fly. Gul'dan, on the other hand, small map, more chance of finding heroes, more chance of finding stacks. So he is going to be very happy picking this up, what with Jada's Jada being stolen away by RPG.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, in the grand final of the Eastern Clash, we had KSV Black trying to go for that Gul'dan as well. Unfortunately, it didn't work out so well. The Korean teams, funnily enough, whenever they tried to go for one of those mages, they usually lost in the process, and then they fell back onto their mageless approach, saying, you know what, we're not going to pick those heroes again. They seem to be pretty bad after all, and I'm pretty sure any European pro or NA pro would have to say a word or two about that. So, for now though, the Gul'dan has been deployed regardless for SunnyLion. They're trying to extend their lead onto a 2-0, taking home 2 juicy points on their second match of Week 1. Who do you think has got the better draft here, Tetra?
I'm looking at it, and I'm actually leaning towards RPG for this one.
Okay.
Both drafts are very solid. I'm definitely going to say that. The wombo potential from SunnyLion, and I think with their execution, their comp will work better. But in terms of just, we're going to be able to rotate with reasonable safety and blow up anyone who mispositions, RPG's draft is a lot more punishing.
Right. All right, I'm going to stick with SunnyLion here. I really think their combo is strong across all phases of the game. We have strong early game with Garrosh Gul'dan, but also we do have pretty hard-hitting late game power with heroes like Leoric, who can become an absolute monster if they go for Ominous Wraith, Royal Focus, and the Burning Despair over and over again. So, pretty cool to see those two teams clash onto Tumulus Spider Queen. Of course, wave clear and rotations are going to be the name of the game. Garrosh, RPGs needs to shut down the Garrosh. If they evade the ganks or punishing for going in aggressively, then I think they stand a chance. But if they don't, they may fall victim to the Lions once again.
Let us find out as we are loading in to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 2 of our first game of the day. It's going to be Chicken on the Jada, MJ on Stukov, Sar on Tyrael, C on ETC, and Timeless returning to that Greymane.
And their opponents, once again, on the red side here, it is SunnyLion with Pao playing that Malfurion. Jaina goes on Gul'dan, Feet B on that Hanzo. We have Leoric played by Wildlight, and First is once again on that Garage. First, without a doubt, the most impactful player in game number 1, earning an MVP trophy. Now let's see if he can do it all again. Hanzo, by the way, not going for a scattering error here up to this point, going for redemption still. But the most impactful, the most important wave clear talent is, of course, the level 4. So let's watch very closely onto which build the Hanzo is going to go for.
So this is the first time we are seeing Sa going onto a tank this time. We're see being the main tank of the team. Good silence, easy kill. If he had any redemption stacks, they are gone. But yeah, that was pretty effective. Like we said, first time we're seeing Sa onto a tank so far with this new RPG roster, meaning that we had the C-Sa frontline. Very up and down performance from then. I apologize for the pun. As we do see the rotations beginning to actually start up. Greymane is going to be in the bot lane, going to try and win via damage.
All right, and we want to pay special attention to Timeless, of course, as well. In game 1, he couldn't really shine. He struggled a little bit, but maybe in this one, maybe in Tomb, he's going to use the Greymane to full effect here. Once again, going for Viciousness here at level 1, trying to keep up those combos on the Inner Beast for as long as possible. Lane against the Leoric, that should be doable. Sa gets flipped, but Tyrael is such a safe hero against Garage in particular. You have the Eldrin's Might, you ideally throw it before the stun lands on you, and then you can just blink away to safety. And this time, most importantly, they don't have Stukov, SunnyLion that is. They don't have those pesky sounds to work in unison here. Instead, the silence works against them. But look at First. He doesn't care about that Jaina burst damage. All that armor is going to keep him safe.
They just bullied him into that point, but really clutch moves by Malfurion, keeping his first, keeping his Garrosh alive. And as such, Garrosh does escape and prevents the kill count from going to 2-0.
Gul'dan going for that Echo Corruption here, by the way. So he ideally wants to brawl all the time, so he can use those corruptions on as many enemy heroes as possible. Jaina trying to get to the middle now, and I really like what RPG is doing. Like, they're playing against Gul'dan like you would play against a Crash Lightning Thrall. Sometimes you just want to make sure to always rotate away from the enemy team. As such, wave clear is of course crucial. You don't want to group up, you don't want to clump up too much to prevent falling behind in early game pressure. 8 stacks up to this point. Leoric, by the way, going for Fealty unto Death here. And that talent is a very interesting one if you're a soul laner in particular.
Yep, health and mana when minions die, basically. And with Neil Peasants, this is very much building into a solo laner slash duo lane rotating Leoric build. He knows he's going to have to probably either clean up minions if RPG are able to outpush them at any point, or he's going to have to at least get some double push duty happening while his team 4-man pushes a single lane if they're able to get the first Web Weaver turn in, as both teams currently farming up their gems, but neither one has so far been able to make any gems turn in, as that immediately changes. Leoric managing to get his gems in.
Yeah, I really like the build by Chicken here on the Jaina, going for full Frostbolt up to this point, longer range, and of course a piercing Frostbolt at level 4. And that normally allows Jaina players to play a little safer, right? If you don't go for those talents, you're going to have to get a little closer to land your abilities, most importantly the Frostbolts. So I really like that build variety here. In the meantime, Timeless wasn't idle. He went for the Night Camp. So middle is going to push here as well, but of course with Gul'dan, it's such an easy time for them to just deep push it. A little bit of an unclean, sloppy execution here. I think with Jaina and ETC, that should have been a kill. The Gul'dan was all by himself, but body blocking wasn't really done correctly here. Meantime, RPG trying to get a kill onto Pao now, but the Malfurion sustained too strong.
Yeah, nice interrupt on C. If C had been able to get in, he would have easily got the kill, but first with the Wrecking Ball, preventing such a thing. But now the turnaround to B2B, the nice silence, but able to pull back to Malfurion. Malfurion with clutch roots, clutch heals, able to save 2 of his teammates in quick succession.
You can really see how RPG is trying to get those early kills in desperately, but they failed now 3 times in a row. They couldn't lock down Gul'dan, they couldn't lock down Malfurion. Hanzo also escaped, so they're really going to have to work on how they time their abilities here. Now on the Gul'dan, once again, a toss from Garrett keeps ETC away though.
Sa with lovely body blocks, focusing onto Jaina. Nice interrupt on the Drain Hope, and that is going to allow them to move forward. But sneaking in a turn, and Leoric is able to get the first Web Weaver wave for SunnyLion. RPG, they easily had enough gems for a turn in, but were focusing so much on kills, they never even attempted to turn in a single gem.
Okay, so the Web Weavers have been unlocked for SunnyLion. That's why they used this distraction here very wisely. Leoric wasn't even participating. As you said, Tetcher, he was turning in those gems quite silently and sneakily in the top lane, but it's not like RPG didn't get anything out of it. At least they got 2 kills. Whether that was worth it or not remains to be seen up to this point, depending on how many buildings SunnyLion will be able to destroy with those web viewers. But, you know, in experience, actually, they took a little lead here, RPG that is. So that is already quite a little something. If they defend it well, they can then turn in afterwards. So let's see what they're going to do here. Sa is probably trying to just buy a little bit of time here. Eldrin's Might gets out of the way. Easy peasy, or is he? Because Leoric is going to drain all the hope.
Oh my god, he gets out! Absolutely insane by Sa. That very clutch shield there to keep himself alive, but now he's not available for the defense, and this Webweaver is going to push in a little bit more, looking for Chicken. Easy kill, absolutely bursted. And that's going to be a kill, and now, finally, for potentially the first time this game, SunnyLion achieved themselves an XP lead.
Yeah, and Sa, of course, is the richest boy on the block right now with 48 gems in his pockets. He needs to be very careful on where he treads, because one combo, one initiation with Garrosh could be the end here, and that money could all go back to the bank otherwise. Good attempt here by SunnyLion, but immediately scouted by Tyrael. 17 gems on him as well. And they haven't turned in a single one-toucher. That's how well SunnyLion was able to dominate those turn-in points. And that's exactly what we talked about during the draft, didn't we? With Hanzo, the vision, the poke he provides, it's going to be so hard for RPG to ever hope and get a turn-in.
And SunnyLion, they are approaching their second turn-in. They're attempting to get these chains. They have 49 out of 55. Only another 6, 2 minion waves required for a full turn-in here. As we see RPG pulling back, they have significantly more, but they can't get near us. We're seeing here Tyrael getting focused down into Leoric. Is he going to teleport last second? Yes, he is. The tomb wouldn't have stopped him teleporting.
Even the observer's confused.
Was purely a timer base.
They even got the observer. All right, Tyrael blinking out of vision for us as well. Beautiful timing there at the very last moment, even baiting out the tomb here. All right, so level 10 is not here just yet for RPG. They're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Feetbeat does what Hanzo does best. He takes out those Siege Giants, providing additional pressure. 41 once again in the bank for SunnyLion. They could actually sneak in yet another one.
They would love to. This would be a crude attempt. Jade is the target. Horrify and into the fray. Dragon Arrow flies past on an arrow and a dream, and the turn-in is once again prevented. Over 100 gems available for RPG, and they just can't turn them in. Water Elemental chase him down, gets the kill, but Chicken is now in the tomb. You don't want to be here, Chicken, and Sanctification keeps him alive. Shield is dropped as well, and Chicken is out of there, turning it round. They get Wildlight as well. Tranquility not enough to keep them alive. First though, once Stevie he gets someone, massive shove pushes him back. That might have saved C's life there from the extra damage, as C gets out as well.
Now C, just go pay Sa as well. Sa and C, the two warriors, they should definitely start paying in here with that man advantage that they have against Leoric now. They really need to make something happen. C alone actually is enough to deliver the first turn-in for RPG, and that was a really good team fight. It was a chaotic one, mind you, with that sneaky Jaina engage. Got the kill against Hanzo there, and then, of course, the life-saving godlike Tyrael Sanctification to keep Chicken alive. Wonderfully done here, but how much value can RPG now get out of this? They really need to make something happen, otherwise these web fears are just going to get poked to death here. They're all actually pretty far back in there, so they will lose health over time, or they poke down by the likes of Fulden and Hanzo.
See, the easy power slide, preventing the Groundbreaker, not getting himself caught out, the zoning lurking arm, and enough to lock down the kill. And these web weavers, they are very well pushed up is the issue. So value from these is actually going to be quite difficult to find. The bot lane is the only unattended one, and we are immediately seeing the rotation from Hanzo to begin clearing that up.
So it's going to be round 2, Jaina versus Hanzo. Last time Jaina proved to be the victor. Can she do it again with the help of a couple of purple spiders here? Let's see. The top lane. In the meantime, we see pretty much emphasis being applied here by RPG. Timeless, by the way, rocking 33 gems as well. He's going to have to be very cautious about those. So they do end up, you know, getting a couple of towers here and there in the top lane. Bottom lane, I think, was also pushed in quite handsomely here. Uh-oh. Could this be the dive? Chicken, Sa, and C. They're posturing up, but Feed B, he's constantly shooting his Qs over the wall. He knows, he smells that something is fishy.
He finds Chicken, and now he sees Sa. So he sees 2 members, and the Water Elemental was used here. Now it's going to be turning on to Wildlight here. This is going to Wraith walk away. Unfortunately, that is just going to be the Water Elemental cooldown blown here. And Jadis should really just send this in to push the lane.
That was really good map awareness here by FeedB. Basically realizing that something was odd. You don't really see a lot of the enemy team members. You maybe had a little bit of vision here from your own abilities, and that distraction was used wisely here by his team members. SunnyLion with yet another web viewer phase. Let's see how much they can do with it.
The pressure is beginning to pile up in this lane. Here comes the rest of SunnyLion. They would love to grab Timeless here. Instead, they will just pick up the fort pretty easily. Look at First. He wants to pick up that kill. He wants Greymane to sit out of position.
But I think RPG has been doing a much better job this time at avoiding the garage, especially in the early stages of the game. Now, if you get flung over, it's not an auto death, but in the early stages of the game, those could oftentimes prove to be catastrophic here. What's equally catastrophic, though, is if RPG can stop the onslaught here. So much experience now gained by SunnyLion. The top lane demolished. Saw actually going in deep. Sanctification is ready just in case. The one-man Horrify, I'm not sure if that was worth it.
Gets rooted. Dragon Arrow is procced here. Pretty much everything being focused onto him. He will die to poison.
Yeah, worth it after all. Of course, you kill the Turiel. Sanctification wasn't used though, mind you, but here comes an Entomb. The silence is here to protect MJ. The stun helping him out as well, but the root are too good.
I love this move by Timeless though. He rolls out of the Entomb and is turning it round immediately onto the backline, already killing off one. Three-man mosh pit, sorry. Moving on to Hanzo as well. With the support down, FeedB is definitely trying to kite here to get himself out of danger, but he can't get away from Timeless, who has made the clutch save for his team in this fight.
Timeless cleaning up the backline, carrying his team from one kill to the other, and what looked like a terrible situation for RPG, losing Turiel so early on, and Stukov also falling to the onslaught of SunnyLion, turned around into a great opportunity for them to now get a turn in with 76 gems still in their bank. We have Timeless actually here with a wonderful sneak attack here, trying to go for the Malfurion after taking down the Gul'dan. Then a four-man Mosh by C. He made up for all the crimes he committed in game number 1. Well done by ETC. Good team effort by RPG.
You can see there, Timeless, he was so far in the backline because the second the Entomb went down, he used Disengage. He was already in Vorgan form to roll past Leoric to sneak his way out. While he was invisible, who does he go for? Straight for Jaina. Remove that damage output. They've already lost Stukov. They've already lost Tyrael. What more can you do? Just all in, do damage. You're either going to lose this fight with 2 members down, or you're going to get something else out of it. The kill on Jaina would have already been decent damage control, but that opened up the door for C to make the epic play with that Mosh.
Now here's the thing, they did once again decide to go for another turn-in on the web weavers. Up to this point, RPG hasn't really achieved a lot with those web weavers, with those spiders at their side. Can they do it now? All forts are still standing for SunnyLion. They could have potentially gone for the boss, however, without the support, because MJ fell. It is always a little risky to do that, because that boss hits you pretty hard. If you don't have the sustain, then you might as well not be able to take it after all. The Sanctification kind of whipped now. The Tranquility trying to keep everyone back safe and sound. The Hanzo arrow whiffing as well. Turiel ends up falling.
Tyrael getting just detonated there. He got horrified, but Timeless once again, laser guided, finds his target, picks up a kill, making this a 1-for-1.
All right, you could see the spike healing there, of course, by the Consume Soul, the level 4 talent by Gul'dan. He used 2 minions to keep himself alive, and even that wasn't enough to escape the fangs of Greymane here. By the way, Timeless here with that level 7 Wizened Duelist, now getting a couple of stacks after seeing kills and auto attacks. Like, he's getting a little out of control here if they don't stop him. 16 gems now trying for first turn in. Jaina's not really with them.
First. Oh, they got him. Got him with the weighted pustule here. So slight interrupt with the turn-in that's happening. This is not enough for a full turn-in. They are still 3 gems short. Once they rested their members, once FeedB does turn in. So 1 minion wave, which they are currently right next to. How convenient. So they may attempt to grab that pretty quickly here. So far, Tyrael has been having a little bit of a rough game. Sar getting focused down, has been playing very aggressively. But the majority of his deaths have actually worked out. Quite literal, almost literal definition of trait value, I say, as he gets thrown in. But face melt, C, keeping Sar alive.
Yeah, that explosion basically secured yet another kill for Timeless. Didn't go down without getting at least a little bit of trade value here. Really well done, C. He's trying to go for another attack here. But I gotta give a lot of credit to RPG. They're playing this map much better than they did in game number 1. Jaina actually trying to apply a little bit of pressure. That fort is barely alive yet. Leoric is trying to keep her under control, though. Gonna catch her. We see a Wraith Walk go down, but apparently to the health bar. According to the health bar of Jaina, nothing major happened. Now hold that thought. Here's the water elemental.
Nice route there on feed B. So as such, Chicken able to pull back. Nice easy heal from MJ. They found a Garrosh though. Horrify has to be used to keep Garrosh safe. Tranquility is good. Garrosh takes so much damage, but the armor and Malfury and the healing over time is just too much to get through.
Yeah, both teams are now out of resources, though. A lot of long cooldown abilities have been used, heroic abilities, that is. If you pay attention to RPG's mana bars, they're almost completely out of juice on Jaina and Greymane. And without their assassins, I don't think they can make anything happen here. So they tried to stall in the turn-in a little longer. But of course, as you said, only 7 gems were left for SunnyLion to turn. In the first place, that was an easy peasy, lemon squeezy task for them. And now, with another set of red web weavers, they can maybe start pushing in towards the first keeps. And that's the difference here. That's the single difference that sets the team apart here. I thought, see, getting to safety. Taunt is through.
Point blank, massive shove, but HGC gets absolutely deleted. Timeless once again was attempting to get it for a burst. This time, though, in the Entomb, goes to the throat onto Pow to try and give himself an escape route, but he goes down. MJ in the worst position as well, gets taken out. So able to retreat behind the base, but that was absolutely SunnyLion, just not even questioning that team fight.
Tetra, that was the worst time for RPG to lose 3 team members now. The web viewers are knocking at the front door. They're telling you, land is in, and they're trying to go for that keep. The keep is falling. They could even try to go for the keep here, for the core, to be honest. 17 seconds on ETC, 21-25 on Greymane and Stukov respectively. The minions are here as well. The spiders are pouring in. Only Jaina left to defend, but what can a single Frost Mage do here? Not that much. Even the tranquility is keeping everybody alive, and that is GG. I think SunnyLion, they did it. Wait a minute.
Feed B is the target. 1 stun. Ice block is used. Heaver is going down. Feed B. Power's taken out. Only Twilight. 1-man mosh pit, but the Web Weavers are on the way. Clear the Web Weavers. Twilight will get taken down. Massive shove for the stun. Kill him. Don't walk away. He goes down. They need to kill off the minions. A couple shots will still be taken at the core, but they have defended Kendrick. 10% left on that core. But now what? They have enough gems for a turn-in. They have enough for the boss. This is basically going to have to be a death push in top lane, and they have to avoid getting killed. Luckily, Hanzo does not have global, so they don't have to worry about that.
Hanzo did go for the bullseye. You're totally right. No play of the game here, so he can't interrupt it even if he wanted to. Only Twilight on the Leoric can tell the tale of RPG taking down the boss and then probably moving on to that turn-in point. And you're totally right, Tetra. The web viewers in top lane and the boss, that's going to be the weapon of choice here. Those are going to have to be the tools of choice here for making that all-in or nothing top push. The wavers on the other lanes, mid and bottom respectively, are going to keep the lane safe and sound. However, there is still a backdoor threat. If SunnyLion, if they group up in time, they could definitely go for it though. Now, RPG, how much pressure can they apply? The wavers are coming. Jaina's in the middle.
Team. They can't afford to let this push go unabated here. They must go with this. As they move forward, silence is dropped. Twilight currently zoning. Jaina's still not here, spending too much time clearing catapults, I think.
Yeah, the catapults were clean, but the Webviewers can now take over that duty here. The boss needs to go through. The boss needs to be escorted. Look at the top Webviewers. They're so far behind. I'm not sure if RPG can actually go all the way through, but they need to keep up the pressure. They need to stay in that base here. They need to keep the pressure on the enemy team side.
Buried alive! The Buried Alive is good. Horrify on top of it, trying to focus ETC. Massive shove, pushes away Gul'dan. That's the main damage dealer. That gives them the chance. The Webby was so far back, they don't even kill the keep, Kendrick. They have to wait for the minion wave and then give it one last shot. This is potentially the last chance RPG have in this game. Moving forward, Sar onto Jaina. Sanctification pushing forward, trying to kill him off. They get him. They get the Orc moving on to Pow. Pow will be the perfect target here. The Mosh Pit right on top of the ice block. Interrupted. But it's not enough. They've killed off 2 more members. Keep goes down. Garrosh with a through-man taunt, trying to drag them into the keep range so that he can try and defend this. Tries to pull back with a groundbreaker, but he's alone. Hanzo getting kited away by Sar as the core takes damage. Zoning out first. The core is going down.
Wow.
And RPG from 10% of their core. They have done it, killing off the last 2 members. That is GG. And RPG take game number 2.
What a spectacular turnaround here. The core defended at 10%. We called the early GG. We called the early victory for SunnyLion. A 2-0 was not meant to be this time around. They used all the tools, all the momentum. Jaina doing so much clearing there. A last-second effort here. Then the web viewers taking over, keeping the lane safe and sound. And last but not least, with the help of the boss, with the help of the combined efforts here, they took down one member after the other. saw initiating on that Tyrael, dropping the Sanctification, and then it was Timeless's moment to shine. He took a bite of 2 members here, executing them mercilessly, and then it was just a matter of time until they could take down the core. Their own core at 10%, mind you. They turned it around. HGC China at its best, ladies and gentlemen.
Saar plays a very aggressive Tyrael. That is both a blessing and a curse. That was a curse for a couple times in that game, but right then, in the exact moment they needed it, it was the exact blessing they needed, as you said. Jumping straight onto Tyrael, jumping straight onto Gul'dan, easy sank, timeless wrecking everything. Good job. Fantastic game. 1 point to both of these teams.
And well-deserved, to be honest. I mean, it takes so much discipline, it takes so much fortitude to really, mental fortitude, mind you, to really get your act together and stay in the game, stay focused, maintain all that discipline there. And RPG deserved that victory 100%. They defended so well. And we can't take anything away from the SunnyLions, though. They dominated that game for the majority of the game. But with that one mistake in the late game, with that one greedy core call and sloppy execution, maybe, they couldn't finish the game, and that's where they fell and crumbled.
Exactly, and as such, we are preparing for the next series. Either way, I am hyped now. That was an exhausting final. That was an exhausting final push emotionally, just in general.
So
but either way, what a start! Once again, we keep saying it. HGC China, some of the best fights, some of the best games, and you can anything can happen here at HGC China.
Anything can happen in Heroes of a Storm. You basically saw that. You never give up until your core is destroyed, and anything can happen in HGC China for sure. You may not always have the cleanest of execution. If you're, you know, a spoiled viewer from Korea or EU, then you're definitely maybe used to, let's say, a more professional approach. But what you can take away from the Chinese teams is their will to fight, their will to brawl, and let's face it, their will to not to execute, mind you, to entertain the viewers. They don't want to execute the viewers. No, that would go too far.
No, we need those. The reason esports exists in the first place. Thank you, viewers. But yeah, hyped and excited for what is going to be a great phase. And as much as I love that this ended in a draw and every single point matters, and I love this format, I can, once again, for everyone who wants to know, the way HGC China works is we rotate twice. Each team plays against each other twice. Unfortunately, that does mean we now have many weeks to wait before we get to see that particular matchup again, because that's going to be great.
All right, 19 kills to 7. That was the overall score, followed by what I think is... No, that's not structures. What is the second one? We can't actually tell. We're going to have to ask.
Because no, it is structure. It's forts killed, because RPG had no forts
there we go.
in the game.
Yeah, very true. There were still keeps left available for SunnyLion at the end of the game. So yeah, we got structures, then it's probably hard to say. We're going to have to ask for a translator here. Translator, help us out with those stats.
I mean, last time chat did this one, and like I said, just like a really cool picture with all the translations on the actual thing, so we could use it as a reference sheet. I can't remember who did that. Was that Dog Ray?
I think it could have been Dog Ray. I'm not sure. Dog Ray, of course, is an avid supporter of the Chinese and Taiwanese scene, being from Taiwan himself. I heard a rumor, though. I heard a rumor that Dog Ray has been perma-banned on the HGC channel. Rest in peace, sweet prince. Sleep well. Maybe we'll see him again after a few weeks or so.
Indeed, we shall. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are not done. We still have 3 more series to go through today. And, like we said, they are going to be some fantastic ones. Currently, our next series is going to be our tied top of the place team, and the team that got 1 game away from going to the Eastern Clash start over again versus the newly re-anointed team into HGC China of Kudo's Top.
Yeah, definitely true, guys. So you would be a fool if you left us right now, because the best series, the most interesting series are yet to come. Beyond the game, former 3rd seed of China, they're trying to rival